Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth our fruit in our season. Our leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever we do shall prosper. Welcome to Portland Spice TV for yet another Saturday morning. Share up the live. Yeah, man. Share it up. Link up. Yeah, man. Give me a link. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What a show we have lined up for the item this morning. Big show we have lined up for the item this morning. So, we want to line up and get in. Get in, my people. Get in. Kind of rushy morning, but hey, later on we're going to be having Anthony Hilton, the Shadow Minister of Global Trade and Logistics. We're going to be talking to him. Going to be talking to him this morning. So, it's a lot of things. I want to ensure that all of you join up and link up. Share up the live right away. Share up the live. Like it up. Because it's going to be a serious morning. We heard some things last night. Oh boy. Heard some things last night. Coming out of that town hall meeting over there in Florida, Miramar. And we want to hear it. Some of the things that the Prime Minister said and how they contradict some of the things that he said in the in the budget presentation. Some of the things that he said in the budget presentation. We want to hear it. Because I don't understand. I don't understand, brother. Some of the things them that was said last night. But we're clearing all of that. And you remember the press conference put on by the People's National Party. And the press conference had Dr. Alfred Daws. Dr. Daws and Jesse James Clark. They did the press conference. And some of the shocking things that came out of that press conference really still don't get Jamaicans to understand that not because something not reach your doorstep yet, it means that it is okay. It will reach your doorstep. And we need to be our brother's keeper. We have to be our brother's keeper and stop behaving like we are an island and we stand alone. So it not happen to me, so me good. No. That's not it. I mean, I warn people, you know, for quite some time, I have been warning Jamaicans and saying to my Jamaican brothers and sisters that we have to look out for each other. We must look out for each other. Yeah? So, this thing you like, you behave like you better than the man will go to hospital and couldn't get a bed. Yeah, understand that somehow you might know some people. So you will make a call and get a bed. But you know, what happens when you try call the person and you know get through? Dog, name your supper. So all me I try say to us, you know, as Jamaicans, is that we must look out for each other. Please, look out for each other. Look out for Jamaica. And not just where you personally can get. Because any day it come to you, then you will understand that it is not just about you. Here? So
I got out of it, and I am slow, is that...
Hold on. I just putting together some clips from last night events that I am going to be sharing with you. And if you realize this morning I've gone back to the old system. I mean, it's the old system, you know, but it do what the other system can. Every system that we use have its ups and its down and have our work feet different. So we experiment from time to time to give you the best of what we have to offer and what we want to share with our people. Hold on there. Hold on, I do this too fast a while ago. So, listeners and viewers, good morning. Welcome again. Share up the live for me now, please. Share it up. Share it up. Because Jamaica, we have to give you the information. We have to educate our people. And we're not going to sit back and watch false news capture this island of ours. What is happening here? I saw them a while ago, but maybe I need to just come out of it and then go back. Let me go back. Because I saw them a while ago. Beautiful. Yeah, man. We're not going to sit down and watch them use false news to capture this nation. I stayed in Jamaica because I love Jamaica. And I tell people all the while, I live in Portland by choice. I don't brag for nobody, but I could have lived a foreign too. Yeah. I travel a long time. Long time. I travel more than 25 years. I have visa. And I go all over the world. And like some people, we could have chosen not to come back. But that's not our thing. We want to live in Jamaica. And I want to live in Portland. And as long as I can afford it, I will only live in Portland. If you don't see me live somewhere else, I can't afford to live at Portland. Because it's not cheap to live at Portland either, you know. It's very expensive and not just monetary expense. You understand? There are other expenses that a man like me have to deal with living in Portland. And because of that, sometimes I have to
puzzle as to why
make up my mind.
governments have gotten into debt. But in the 2010s, we engaged with the IMF. Now, the government of which I am a part started the engagement with the IMF. We did not complete the engagement with the IMF. The previous government, the government of the PNP, re-engaged with the IMF with a new program. And that program, along with the foundations laid in 2010 with the fiscal responsibility framework, institutionalized strong management of our economic affairs.
Now, I don't hear that, my people. And if you listen to that, and then go listen to what the Prime Minister said in the the budget debate. I don't know if you want to listen to it. What he said in the budget debate when he said it was the GLP who really started the fiscal discipline. And when he said 15-year-old fiscal discipline is not the PNP child. They know make a statement like that last night. And remember, well on there. Put up at the Prime Minister.
It is in puzzle as to why governments have gotten into debt. But in the 2010s, we engaged with the IMF. Now, the government of which I am a part started the engagement with the IMF. We did not complete the engagement with the IMF. The previous government...
That don't sound like the witness, Daddy.
The government of the
Hold
PNP,
on, man. Come back.
with the IMF
Come
with a
back,
new
Mr. Prime Minister. Come back.
It is
Come back.
a puzzle as to why governments have gotten into debt.
Listen this.
But in the 2010s, we engaged with the IMF.
Yeah.
Now, the government of which I am a part started the engagement with the IMF.
But you never finished it.
Did not complete the engagement with the IMF.
There you go. Mr. Prime Minister, pull up. So, when the Prime Minister in the Parliament and talk about the worthless daddy, who was he talking? You know something I realized with this Prime Minister. If you listen to things them what I'm saying, it brings us back to the days them when we are going to school and say, so a man think it, so is he. And when you point pan a man, the big finger point right back at you. Listen to the Prime Minister again, peeps.
Government of the
Listen to the Prime Minister again.
In puzzle as to why governments have gotten into debt. But in the 2010s, we engaged with the IMF. Now, the government of which I am a part started the engagement with the IMF. We did not complete the engagement with the IMF. The previous government, the government of the PNP, re-engaged with the IMF with a new program. And that program, along with the foundations laid in 2010 with the fiscal responsibility framework, institutionalized strong management of our economic affairs.
Now, when me listen to that, it sound like the Prime Minister ready to come down. Wanted to talk a little truth. My word. My word, my word, my word. Now, there's another thing that shocked me out of the meeting last night. The moderator, after the Prime Minister's speech, the moderator came up and said something. Listen what the moderator said last night after the Prime Minister spoke. Listen this.
Inflection point. You must break out of your cocoon like a butterfly and free the people to live in a prosperous, transparent democracy. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. Thank you.
Listen.
What I got out of it, and I am slow, is that when you're at an inflection point, you must break out of your cocoon like a butterfly and free the people to live in a prosperous, transparent democracy. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. Thank you.
That sounded to me like this man was throwing shades at the Prime Minister. My listeners and viewers, me want to play it again. My listeners and my viewers and all my subscribers. I want to play this again. Colin, was that meeting held in a town setting? I think it was in a church. Listen this again and tell me if this man was throwing shades at Prime Minister Andrew Holness.
I got out of it, and I am slow, is that when you're at an inflection point, you must break out of your cocoon like a butterfly and free the people to live in a prosperous, transparent democracy. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. Thank you. What I got out of it, and I am slow, is that when you're at an inflection point, you must break out of your cocoon like a butterfly and free the people to live in a prosperous, transparent democracy. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. Thank you.
I don't know what to think of that, but that sound to me like that man just throw shades at Prime Minister Andrew Holness. President Fitzroy Wagwan, what do you think? It sounds like him throw shades. Now, there's a clip that I really want to play for you that I think is very important. This clip here I'm going to play for you is Alfred Daws responding to Dr. Elon Thompson. Listen.
Elon and I didn't enter this profession because it was easy or popular. We entered it because we believe in service, in putting people first, and in defending lives above all else. That is why it is deeply disappointing to see someone with his reputation allow politics to cloud the clarity of that calling. This is bigger than party lines. It's about people, patients who are dying while awaiting surgery, doctors and nurses working in unsafe conditions, and a public healthcare system that is cracking under pressure. Disappointment to the Senate was a tremendous opportunity for Elon, not just to add credibility to the government's narrative, but to rise above it. It was a chance to show that he answers to a higher calling, the well-being of the Jamaican people. But if defending the indefensible becomes the price of political involvement, he risks losing the very integrity that his patients and peers have long admired.
This is not just a hospital issue. It's a national emergency. And if a medical professional in Senator Thompson's position cannot see that, it may raise serious concerns, not just among the public, but also among those he serves as a private practitioner. If the pressure to toe the political line is too much, it would be better to walk away with your principles intact than to remain and lose the respect of the people who look to you as a symbol of what medicine should represent. I am reiterating the need for urgent, transparent, and coordinated action to restore trust in Jamaica's healthcare system, and I'm calling on all professionals, regardless of their political alignment, to recommit to the people's well-being and be guided by their moral compass.
That was Dr. Alfred Daws responding to Elon Thompson. Yeah. Because healthcare joke business. Healthcare is serious business. And we can't play with people health. People health are them wealth. Mm-hmm. So, I want to drop it again. I like make certain I hear the thing them properly, you know. Understand it.
Elon and I didn't enter this profession because it was easy or popular. We entered it because we believe in service, in putting people first, and in defending lives above all else. That is why it is deeply disappointing to see someone with his reputation allow politics to cloud the clarity of that calling. This is bigger than party lines. It's about people, patients who are dying while awaiting surgery, doctors and nurses working in unsafe conditions, and a public healthcare system that is cracking under pressure. Disappointment to the Senate was a tremendous opportunity for Elon, not just to add credibility to the government's narrative, but to rise above it. It was a chance to show that he answers to a higher calling, the well-being of the Jamaican people. But if defending the indefensible becomes the price of political involvement, he risks losing the very integrity that his patients and peers have long admired.
This is not just a hospital issue. It's a national emergency. And if a medical professional in Senator Thompson's position cannot see that, it may raise serious concerns, not just among the public, but also among those he serves as a private practitioner. If the pressure to toe the political line is too much, it would be better to walk away with your principles intact than to remain and lose the respect of the people who look to you as a symbol of what medicine should represent.
Yeah.
I am reiterating the need for urgent, transparent, and coordinated action to restore trust in Jamaica's healthcare system, and I'm calling on all professionals, regardless of their political alignment, to recommit to the people's well-being and be guided by their moral compass.
That was a profound statement by Dr. Alfred Daws. Because when we look at what Dr. Elon Thompson, basically said, you realize that he has lost his way as it relates to being a medical practitioner. I'm losing way. Because it is the health of the people. And if he's admitting that the KPH, turn it down, the speed. All right. So if he, take this 2 minutes. If he's afraid to admit that there's problem in the health sector, then you'll lose your credibility, brother. Remember, when Dr. Daws, or should I put it this way, when the PNP was in power and there was problem in the health sector, you're right, Elon. Dr. Daws came out and highlighted it. So how come now you expect Dr. Daws to highlight the problems in the health sector? Eh? Me not understand you. He's a crazy man. He's a crazy, crazy man. Dr. Daws is going to highlight problems wherever he sees them. And that is one of the things we don't have to accredit Dr. Daws. We don't have to give him the respect when PNP in a power and things no right, him call it out. So respect the man position. The man is about saving lives. The man is about dealing with the health care of Jamaicans. It's not about partisan politics. No. And you see, it's one of the things that I have been saying to this government, that we have to do better with governing the country. We have to ensure that it is about Jamaica and not about the GLP. So, I said to the item, put some respect on this man's name. Put some respect on Dr. Daws' name. Because wherever Dr. Alfred Daws has a problem in Jamaican health sector, he's going to call it out. And that is what we want. Talk truth, big up yourself. Ethics, sir. We want people who, whether PNP are do it or GLP are do it, if it is not good for the people of Jamaica, they are going to call it out. When PNP was in power, Dr. Daws came out and said, "I have to use scandal bag to make apron." And everybody jump on it. Everybody jump on it. Now Dr. Daws is saying that there's problem with our health care in Jamaica. Mole in the hospital, the Kingston Public Hospital, the largest hospital in the English-speaking Caribbean. The operating theaters are down. And this man come out and chatting whole heap of rubbish. I say, put some respect on Dr. Daws' name. I'm going to play the clip one more time. Dr. Alfred Daws responding to Dr. Elon Thompson. Listen this.
Elon and I didn't enter this profession because it was
properly.
easy. Elon and I didn't enter this profession because it was easy or popular. We entered it because we believe in service, in putting people first, and in defending lives above all else. That is why it is deeply disappointing to see someone with his reputation allow politics to cloud the clarity of that calling. This is bigger than party lines. It's about people, patients who are dying while awaiting surgery, doctors and nurses working in unsafe conditions, and a public healthcare system that is cracking under pressure. Disappointment to the Senate was a tremendous opportunity for Elon, not just to add credibility to the government's narrative, but to rise above it. It was a chance to show that he answers to a higher calling, the well-being of the Jamaican people. But if defending the indefensible becomes the price of
I'm finishing this clip. Carla.
Of political involvement, he risks losing the very integrity that his patients and peers have long admired.
This is not just a hospital issue. It's a national emergency. And if a medical professional in Senator Thompson's position cannot see that, it may raise serious concerns, not just among the public, but also among those he serves as a private practitioner. If the pressure to toe the political line is too much, it would be better to walk away with your principles intact than to remain and lose the respect of the people who look to you as a symbol of what medicine should represent. I am reiterating the need for urgent, transparent, and coordinated action to restore trust in Jamaica's healthcare system, and I'm calling on all professionals, regardless of their political alignment, to recommit to the people's well-being and be guided by their moral compass.
Dr. Alfred Daws there. And truth is truth. And that's what we are focused on. just the truth. Nothing but the truth. So help us, God. We have the Shadow Minister on Trade and Global Logistics, Anthony Hilton, on the phone. Comrade Hilton, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to your listeners, Colin.
Blessings, my brother. Welcome.
Blessings.
Turbulence water we are in, eh? Choppy waters.
We are very, very much so, but we can't say we are surprised. Mr. Trump has been signaling his intention for quite some time, so we should have been much better prepared.
Yes. But what do we do now, Sir Hilton? 10% tariff. What do we do now?
Well, first off, let me just put things in context, and I'll tell you what we are planning to do and have long been planning to do. First of all, I think it is very clear that the government is wholly unprepared for this kind of shock. This is their 10th year
Yes.
in office. And during this period, they have done very little. I proposed from 2013, that Jamaica should build a logistic hub. They laughed at me at first and made a mockery, and then undermined the proposal. Now they are beginning to recognize after COVID, after the COVID-19 pandemic, recognize that it was a strategic and visionary plan. So, but they didn't envision it, nor do they have the plan. And so they did nothing about it until recently. I heard the Prime Minister talking about a logistic hub and that they'll be breaking ground for an infrastructure out in Cayman as an infrastructure that I recommended 13 years ago. The Cayman as special economic zone.
Yes.
They're just now talking about breaking ground. The truth is that there are critical hardware and critical softwares that must be put in place.
Yeah.
They finally understand the necessity for the hardware, but don't understand the software. And I know they don't understand the software because what most Jamaicans don't recognize is that the Prime Minister is the leader of CARICOM external trade negotiation.
Talk to me.
And in that capacity, as the leader of CARICOM external trade negotiation, he has not had one negotiation with any state. And therefore, we continue to rely.
Sir Hilton, that can't be true.
It is true. It is true. It is a fact. He's the head of CARICOM. In fact, he hardly attended any CARICOM meeting. In fact, he has acted in ways to create tension within CARICOM by putting forward his Minister of Foreign Affairs to challenge a sitting CARICOM nominated member for the CARICOM Commonwealth Secretary General position.
How long has he been the head of the CARICOM? What the CARICOM what?
The CARICOM external negotiation.
How long has he been the head of that committee?
From the time he assumed the position of Prime Minister of Jamaica. That's a position to which every Jamaican Prime Minister has the responsibility once they become Prime Minister of Jamaica. That's
so you're
position
saying
given to Jamaica.
For 9 years, he has been the head of the Caribbean External Negotiating Committee?
Correct.
And you are saying that he has done nothing for the 9 years?
No trade agreement, nothing. No trade agreements. And the point about the trade agreement is this: when it comes to our solution, I will tell you that our plans going forward is to enter into a number of bilateral trade agreements.
But we must.
Because we believe we have to shift the source and roots of supply to our economy and not be so dependent, overly dependent on the United States economy, because over 60% of our exports goes to the United States.
Yes.
And they have been relying on the fact that we have a Caribbean Basin Initiative, something that was gifted to us by the United States government.
Mm-hmm.
But that when you get a gift, rather than having a contract with the government or with any other government, as in any other gift, someone can withdraw the gift if they choose to do so.
Or stop giving, just not giving no more.
Or stop being charitable. Or stop being charitable. And this is what is occurring now. The U.S. government has decided to stop being charitable, as they have complained that people have taken the United States for granted and abused the United States, as Mr. Trump has been saying recently.
Yes.
And therefore, where we used to send most of our goods from Jamaica into the U.S. duty-free, it will now receive a 10% duty on tariff. Now,
So-
let me, and the goods, those goods,
Hold on,
those
sorry,
same
Hilton.
goods.
Hold on, before you
Yeah.
continue. Was the Jamaican government caught off guard with this tariff?
Of course they were, and I know this because during the budget debate that just ended,
Yeah.
I asked the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, and it's on the record, he cannot deny it. And he has repeated it several times. He has repeated the silly response several times, which I asked him, what preparation is the government making in the eventuality that tariff is imposed on Jamaican goods? His response was, well, we are not the target. The target is people who are exporting fentanyl, which is a drug,
Yeah.
into the U.S. market, or they have a trade surplus with the United States,
Mm-hmm.
neither of which Jamaica is doing or is in a position to do, because Jamaica, as we all know,
We have a deficit.
has a trade deficit
Yes.
with the world, not just with the United States.
With the world.
With the world.
With everybody.
With everybody. That means we're not doing enough for exports.
Right.
And therefore, it tells you that they were very, very laid back and believe that their friendship with our friendship with the United States, and as Rubio said, that this administration is the most supportive of the U.S. So they thought that nothing could happen to the good people.
So
Well,
obviously,
understand this.
obviously on Rubio's visit, they never said anything to him about any trade or tariff.
No, because Rubio is not the trade minister. Rubio is a foreign minister. He's a foreign secretary. He's not the trade representative.
Right.
The United States government is structured somewhat differently. It is what is now being proposed by Mark Golding. I would be the trade minister based upon my portfolio responsibility.
Right.
And the foreign affairs will be Dr. Angela Brown-Burke. So we have shifted the trade ministry in the ways that the United States, more along the line that the United States has.
Mm-hmm.
But the important point I'm making is this, that they're neither prepared for the shock, not now, because that preparation should have been made a long time ago. They should have implemented a logistic hub.
Yes.
They should have entered, and if you know about and understand the logistic hub, it calls for diversification in your trade arrangements. And therefore, this is why I said they understood, they finally got the vision, they finally logged on to the vision,
Mm-hmm.
but don't understand
How
the
to get it done.
software and the ecosystem that needs to go with it.
Yes.
And therefore, because they didn't come up with the plan, they have no clue about how to implement it. So the idea now just simply going to put some infrastructure at the Cayman Special Economic Zone, which I recommended 13 years ago,
But
is just simply too little, too late.
But if they don't understand the software, Sir Hilton, and they're going to put on this infrastructure, isn't it going to be a waste?
Of course. Well, let me give you a quick and easy example. It's like they went around and set up the Jamaica Eye program. And what did that require? They went up and set up all kind of cameras all over the place and light posts and all over the place.
And no software.
No, to come to find out they're not working. And when we say, well, why aren't they working? They say, well, the back office, the software isn't in place.
That is the worst thing in life.
Yeah, so I'm just saying it's a similar thing, because they're now proposing now to start doing something on the hardware, but the software they don't understand. And part of the software I'm saying to our Jamaican people are the trade agreements that he had the opportunity to put in place. He's the head of CARICOM Trade External Negotiation.
Right.
And he has done nothing. In fact, he has acted in ways to antagonize our CARICOM partners by sending the foreign minister to challenge a sitting CARICOM-sponsored members as CARICOM Secretary General.
So instead
this
of
is something that is not done.
Instead of create harmony, he's been rather antagonistic.
Disarm, absolutely. So he's not, to my mind, the best person to mobilize CARICOM, which is what is needed now. You have now to mobilize CARICOM. And I heard him yesterday at the launch on Friday, yesterday, yes?
At the expo. That was Thursday at the expo.
Thursday
right.
evening at the launch of the things, saying about his CARICOM brothers and sisters. And just remember he has some brothers and sisters. Just like how he just remembering the poor in Jamaica.
No, sir.
He's just remembering the poor in Jamaica, saying he's gonna drive growth for all Jamaica, after he has spent the last 9 years favoring the rich.
Explain to my listeners and viewers, Sir Hilton, what effect this 10% tariff may have on Jamaica.
Well, my brothers and sisters listening, this will have just don't listen to me, listen to our private sector. The JMEA, the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, is the body that is now speaking and expressing their deep concern and saying the government must act. The Prime Minister now recognizes that. He is now saying to them, oh, we're going to walk with you the entire way. The truth is, it is not walking with them that they need now. He should have been exercising the leadership.
Yes.
That's what's required to build this economy. And I'm arguing very strongly that he has not been exercising that leadership. And I come back to the fact that what the economy needed, one was the vision that we had in the previous administration to build a logistic hub. The people should understand that the logistic hub is about trade.
Yes.
It's about bringing goods to Jamaica to be traded and transported across the region, not just to Jamaica. This was never a project just about Jamaica. It may be in Jamaica, but it's about the entire region. In fact, the entire hemisphere. Because there are 3 existing logistics hubs in the world, as of recognized in the world today. One in Europe, one in Amsterdam, covering all of Europe.
Yeah.
One in Asia, Southeast Asia, and Singapore, covering all of Asia.
Also, Singapore,
and one
as
in
a
Dubai,
hub.
covering the Middle East and Africa. There's none in the Americas.
So we need to build that one and stop wasting time.
We were proposing to building one in Jamaica for the Americas. And that's a vision that most people, including the current government, did not understand and weren't able to log on to until COVID hit. Then they started to say, rotted. That's what Mr. Hilton was talking about.
And the fact
And
that we're right on the edge of the Panama Canal gives us
absolutely.
prime place to do this.
Look, Jamaica's location is ideal. All of the major trade routes in the world pass nearest Jamaica. Ships, we have thousands of ships passing Jamaica every day.
You know, one of the things.
Every day.
You know, one of the things, Sir Hilton, I tell
laden
people.
Laden with goods going elsewhere. And our simple proposition was, let us make this a hub where they have the option of stopping in Jamaica, laying off the goods, going to different places, because the larger ships cannot visit all the ports in the region.
Oh, so then.
And we recognize two things. One, that the ships are getting larger and larger.
Yes.
And the larger the ships get, is the fewer stops they can and will make.
And we can accommodate all those large ships.
Indeed.
So
we were the ones that put forward the proposal for CMA CGM.
I remember, Sir Hilton, I remember one of the things you were putting forward to build a harbor at Kobe. Is Kobe?
Absolutely. And at Bowden.
And that would also prep up the logistics up in Jamaica. Absolutely.
It was part of the strategy to build, because Kobe is the deepest harbor we have one of the deepest harbor in this entire hemisphere. And what I proposed was that could use some of what you call in the shipping business ultra large vessels,
massive ones,
right? The biggest ships in the world.
They could come to Kobe.
Yes, would come to Kobe, and they will carry not containers, they would carry commodities in bulk. They could carry bulk commodities. They could carry wheat, corn, food, oil, whatever. For the largest ships in the world.
For my listeners who don't know, where's Kobe?
Kobe is in Yallas, in
Yallas, St. Thomas. So St. Thomas, imagine you have a harbor that can take the largest ships in the world. Is that still on the table under PNP administration, Sir Hilton?
Of course, we will continue to explore that, because it makes sense. It made sense then, and it makes even better sense now.
You spoke about Bowden. What are the possibilities? Why are you looking at Bowden?
Bowden is important because we need a port that can take our food, and that will affect Portland. All of Portland.
But I asked Bowden because we have a wharf here in Port Antonio, Boundbrook Wharf, where we used to ship bananas from, and it is just sitting there now rotting.
Well, either one of those or both of those, depending on the draft, right? Meaning the depth of the water, right? Because you want the deeper the harbor, the more useful it is, because the vessels are getting larger and larger.
Right.
So when we do the exercise, the Boundbrook Wharf is of the depth that we believe.
Well, we know Boundbrook Wharf have some constraints. I think the depth is about 9 meters, so it couldn't take anything with that draft.
That's perhaps a bit too shallow. The larger ships are required larger, deeper harbors.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because the ships are getting larger, they're not staying small.
Definitely.
Right?
No.
So we have to rationalize it and do it in a way that will affect the parishes and the region.
Yes.
And to help them to integrate into the region. And this is why I've been saying that our plan to build a highway to St. Thomas and into Portland was watered down, and they give them a road, an improved road to St. Thomas.
I wonder if people remember that.
People of St. Thomas and Portland that they should be happy. A highway is a different infrastructure from a road.
Definitely.
From an improved road. A highway is a different infrastructure from an improved road.
Talk to us about that, Sir Hilton. What was the plan to build that highway from Harborview into Port Antonio, different from what they have done?
Yeah, we articulated the plan and the strategy to build a highway, and we even aligned. We mapped it out, and it would have gone into the different parts, opening up different parts of St. Thomas and into Portland.
Definitely.
And they came, and the then Minister of Finance, Audley Shaw, told the Jamaican people and said, and it's on record, that St. Thomas has too big a project for St. Thomas.
In
And
fact,
they took some of the money
in fact,
and to construct the bypass in Montego Bay.
in fact, Sir Hilton, he said it did make economic sense to build a highway from Harborview into Port Antonio.
This is the point, because they don't understand the vision. Because they're looking at roads and we're looking at highways to connect as part of the domestic logistic hub,
Yes.
to move our goods and people efficiently around Jamaica and to connect to the system that P.J. Patterson started,
Definitely.
the highway.
So they've never
System that
understand
PJ.
it.
So they
And-
never understood it. So they opposed, as SHACKA did in opposing PJ's vision. And then they came and named the road after
After him.
Portia came and built the North-South Highway.
What shit?
Named the road after him, after they didn't have the vision about the highway.
Help me
And
out.
so,
Help me
and
out.
so I'm saying, they did not grasp the vision for the road from Harborview to St. Thomas and to Portland through St. Thomas.
Mhm.
And therefore, all they've been doing is just improving the road network. They didn't build the highway, which was designed to improve travel and to improve economics, the economy of the eastern part of the island. And they never understood it. And we keep saying to them, what is needed is a highway, not a road, and not an improved road that they're doing a poor job of constructing right now.
Sir Hilton, I am seeing a couple of messages in my chat room. And these messages lead me to ask you this question. The lands around Kobe, who own those lands?
Well, I don't know who's owning them now. I hear all kinds of activities taking place around those lands, but at the time, it was owned by a mix of private and government. Now, I don't know what has gone on in the darkness since we left government.
Sir Hilton, the people...
But all of that will come to light.
The people in the
All
chat
of that
room
will come
seems
to
to
light.
know something that you and I don't know. They are even calling
Well-
names of who own the lands around Kobe, you know?
Well, if you see what it would mean. What it would mean is that they have, like so many other things, they have taken strategic ideas and positioned themselves to benefit from them
Definitely.
privately.
There you go. They know what might be coming, so they go and
Yeah.
buy the lands. And that's why I said to people, Sir Hilton, it is unethical for a prime minister to be hustling and juggling while being a prime minister. For a parliamentarian to be hustling and juggling while in the parliament, because you know things that the average man don't know. So you're using your position as a parliamentarian, as a prime minister, to strategically buy up lands in some areas and invest in some companies that you have insight of what is going to happen. It's unethical.
Well, look, this is why the Integrity Commission is in place.
Yes.
Because if any, not just prime minister, any parliamentarian who have that kind of information and is using it for their private wealth,
Yes.
they have to declare it. And if you don't declare it and you can't explain the wealth, then you're going to be in problem with the Integrity Commission. So it is part of the problems that we have now. And so the investigations are on, and we need answers to them, because that's precisely the point I'm making, my brother, which is that all of these plans are there. And you asked me a question about who has purchased the land.
Yeah.
I personally don't know others, but you see, in Jamaica, nothing is secret enough. Somebody knows something.
So then that's why people are actually calling names, Sir Hilton. We're just not going to repeat them. But there are
Right.
names in the chat room.
I don't suggest you do until there is a proper investigation.
Exactly. But is it one of the reasons we saw a release from the Integrity Commission the other day asking for government agencies to give them all the information on all the lands and assets that they own, that they have sold over the last year or something like that? Is that the reason why the Integrity Commission is trying to get these information?
Well, let me say this. In the same way that person can be sending you these information, they're sending them to the Integrity Commission as well.
Well done.
And the Integrity Commission will pursue them and to investigate to make sure that what they're saying is true.
Yes.
And if it is true, then that's a problem. if the person is either a parliamentarian or is sitting in a strategic position inside the bureaucracy, inside government,
and
inside the
using
ministries and agencies
and
like
using
land
that
agency
information.
and land ministry.
Yeah. Using the information to scoop up the
Using
lands.
the information for personal wealth. That's what it's called corruption. Using those information that are public information for personal wealth.
If you're just joining us, we're talking.
Corruption.
If you're just joining us, we're talking to Anthony Hilton, Shadow Minister on Trade and Global Logistics, a man who knows logistics by the light, because him know the back of him hand. Tell me something, Comrade Hilton. Help me out with this. The United States, they are proposing to charge a fee of what? $1 million on any ship that was built in China that stopped in the airport. How will that affect not just Jamaica, but the rest of the world?
Again, that is one of the most aggressive and short-sighted policies that is being proposed by this administration in the United States. It will affect global trade in a very significant way. Because, and it's for this reason, my friend, the United States has come out of the shipbuilding business for decades now.
Right.
Decades. In the meanwhile, China and South Korea and Japan, to a lesser extent, has continued to build the large ships that are now dominating global trade. What the United States has awakened to, because they're in a political fight with China.
Yeah.
They are now trying to punish the Chinese, but in the process punishing themselves and the rest of the world.
And about to mash up the world economy?
Well, what I can tell you, even from because the tariffs have took effect today.
Yes.
And as of today, the world trading system is a different place. It is totally changed. They have acted in ways to undermine the World Trade Organization, which is the main organization to negotiate trade and to monitor trade agreement and to settle trade dispute. What they have done over the years is to undermine the WTO, crippling this dispute settlement organization first.
Mm-hmm.
So they first, said the gods, before they make you mad, before they do something to you, they first make you mad.
Yes.
So they crippled the World Trade Organization, the dispute settlement mechanism, which is a key body within the WTO to settle disputes, because they wanted to exercise the raw power and leverage and authority that Trump is now exercising on the rest of the world. So this proposal combined, and I'm glad you raised that, my friend Colin, it tells me that you're listening and you're observing quite keenly, because it's not just the tariff that has been announced.
Not at all.
The tariff in combination with the fees, the cess on levy on Chinese ships, or not just Chinese ships. If you are a company and you own one Chinese ship, let's say you have 20 ships,
right,
but one of them was built in China, you're going to be imposed. It's going to impose on the entire organization. So that is aimed at crippling world trade. World trade.
Tell me something though, Comrade Hilton. The ships that come to Jamaica, let's say the car ships that come from Japan or the ships that carry goods from China, do they have to stop in America before they come to Jamaica?
Well, a lot of them would. I don't have the specific detail, but understanding the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
These vessels, as I said, they stop not in one place, but they stop in fewer places.
Because of their size.
Because of their size. Because not every place can take these massive ships.
Right.
But also, the whole purpose of having these large ships is for economies of scale, meaning you have these large ships so that you can move massive amount of cargo at the same time.
Right.
And therefore, it would defeat the purpose if you're going to stop at many, many places. So, but the United States, given its strategic position and the strength of its market, which is what Trump is leveraging on the rest of the world, is using the fact that the United States market is the strongest, is number one market in the world, followed by China and others, he's using that fact to punish the rest of the world. It will have the effect of punishing the rest of the world, including Jamaica and the Caribbean. Including Jamaica and the Caribbean. So the tariff, which are already in effect, these are not something that is being threatened or proposed.
It's in effect.
These are now in effect as of today. Those tariffs will impact our export to the U.S. If you ask me that question, I'm going to answer it now in a direct way. It's going to affect our exports into the U.S. market. How? Because remember, that 10% is probably the margin of profit that our exporters are making.
Yes.
And if you add 10% in tax at the border, you have to pay it before you get into the United States. So it's a gatekeeping tax. You have to pay the man at the door before you get into the party.
You can't escape him.
You can't escape him.
The $1 million for the ships, though, that is a proposal. That is not in place yet.
No, that is not in place yet. But I'm saying Trump is saying that anything him threaten, he's going to implement. So don't.
So you think this going to happen?
Ignore him. Take him. Believe him.
You think this one going to happen? Because this one is heavy, Sir Hilton. This one is no joke.
Well,
let
me tell you this. If this one happens, that's the end of the world economy, the global economy.
One of my listeners.
And Jamaica will be in such a mess. But we don't build our own ships.
One of my listeners.
We just have to hire ships. Wherever the ships are built, we just have to hire them.
One of my listeners said, remember that it was global trade that caused World War II.
Absolutely. And so the tension is going to increase. And I'm glad your listeners are observing that it's a breakdown of trade. In fact, our listeners will remember that the war in Europe the solution was the European Union, which is to improve trade among themselves and to relieve tension among themselves. And so rather than improving global trade, this president is going in the opposite direction.
Destroying global
trade, creating tension, and imposing sanctions. And it's a very, very risky world that we're waking up to today.
Sir Hilton, with Trump putting on tariff on Jamaica now, and we don't have preferential treatment in markets anymore. Why is the Jamaican government removing GCT from importation of raw food, vegetable, and meats?
Well, let me say this. You would have heard that's the very question I asked in Parliament when they came, because they came with it before when Nigel Clark was finance minister.
Yes, I remember.
We argued against it then and cautioned them about going in that direction because it would hurt our local farmers.
Mm-hmm.
We argued against it. Then we asked some questions which they couldn't answer. And they went away saying, all right, they're going to look at it, but that they're going to come back again. They brought it back to Parliament recently. And I participated in it, and I made this very same point. I said, how does it make sense that you are removing duties and charges on a very sensitive matter like agriculture, where we need food security, when other countries are imposing taxes and tariff on those very goods of our export into their country? And Trump is calling for a reciprocal trade.
Yes, that's what he said.
Reciprocal trade. And we asked him some questions, and of course they ran away. I gather now that they're no longer going to bother with it.
Is it that the government is out of touch with what is happening in the world?
Way out of touch, and that's the question we pose, and that's why they have to run away. And the question people, especially, and look, it's not just the farmers, because let me tell you, the world that we're waking up to is a world where people have to eat what they grow and grow what they eat.
Michael Manley
spoke about that in the 70s.
Yes.
And that's the world that we're waking up to. Not threatened anymore because the tariffs are in place, and I want to say that again. This is no longer a threat. This is an actual, this is a reality as of today. As of today.
Sir Hilton, one of the things that shocked me though about that removal of the GCT is that the government, the Minister of Finance said it would be retroactive. Why would that be? And some of the questions that party leader and opposition leader Mark Golding asked, even if they're running away, they must come back and answer these questions. Did they collected these GCT from that time? Because one is retroactive to April last year and one to July. And we're talking about the armored vehicles. And we understand the issue with the armored vehicle. But we're talking about the GCT from raw foods and vegetable. I think that was retroactive to July last year. Are we going to find out if they collected those taxes? Sir Hilton? We lost Mr. Hilton. Look like we lost Sir Hilton there. Let me try and get him back. Because, all right, here he is. Hold on, Sir Hilton. Let me call you back. Let me call him back here. All right, hold on. Let me get him back on the line. Because, hold on. This is the part that, oh Lord, sorry. I did wrong. I did totally wrong. My fault. Let me drop that and get back to Mr. Comrade Hilton. All right. This is the call I need to make. Not the one I made first. Because it is important, listeners, that we understand what is happening in government. Sir Hilton, hold the line for me. Hold on for me. All right, so we have Sir Hilton back with us. Yes, Sir Hilton, we were talking about the retroactivity of these GCT that they want to remove.
No, it's a very serious problem, right? And that's not the end of the story, because even if they dropped it and run away from the reality,
yes,
the fact is we have asked a question. We asked a question in Parliament. Have they been charging? Have they been forgiving duties, GCT and goods that they for the period of time?
Yes.
And if they have been, on what basis were they charging it? Because the resolution was not approved in Parliament.
Exactly. So these are questions that must be answered in spite of whatever they're planning to do.
Yeah. They'll have to explain what they have been doing in that period. And if they were not, then what was the proposal about, and why are they bringing it back now? So either way, they need to answer some questions. But those questions have been posed.
But if they did not collect those GCT, wouldn't that be a breach?
Well, they made a proposal, but our point is that they needed to approve the law to allow them to forgive the GCT.
Correct.
So they need to explain what they've been doing. And so one of the reasons I think they may have ran away, dropped it and ran away, is that they don't want to answer those questions, but they have to answer those questions.
Yeah, we can't make them drop that and run away. They have to come with these questions, because the opposition leader asked, did you collect those GCT? And if you didn't, on what authority you didn't collect it? And if you have collected, are you planning to pay back these people this money? These questions must be answered.
Yeah. So either way, they have to answer the question. Yeah?
So Hilton, go ahead, finish up.
No, I'm just making the point that these are the things that Jamaican people, the opposition has a very constructive role, have been constructive, have been making these arguments. And although it's 14 of us against 49, we believe we have been equal to the task in bringing to the Jamaican people what the reality is. But more importantly, we have a plan for Jamaica that we intend to execute in government.
Before you go, tell us the plan.
Well, I can say the budget debate is over now, but I've told you, essentially, we are going to go full force and implement the logistic hub project.
And you're
Prime
saying that
Minister
there are
been-
only 3 logistics hubs around the world. One in Europe, one in Asia.
Europe, one in Asia, and one in Southeast Asia, and one in the Middle East, covering Africa.
And there's none in the Americas. And
None in the Caribbean or the Americas.
And we want to build that one, and that will change the face of Jamaica.
Well, it is not only to change the face of Jamaica, it will change the face of many countries in the hemisphere. Many countries in the hemisphere. It's a contribution to world trade. It's a contribution. Jamaica will be the 4th pillar in the global trading system, and that's what I articulated 13 years ago.
And this government has dropped the ball.
Dropped the ball. They never understood it, still don't understand it. They understand hardware, not the software. We have the plan for the software, and I can't disclose that right now. Too many people are listening.
Not at all. What's the benefit for Jamaica with the Panama Canal so close with us? And what is the issue with the Panama Canal with Trump behaving like him want take it away and him want cause problem? Just tell us about that before you go.
Well, look, the Panama Canal we consider an asset to global trade and certainly an asset to Jamaica and the Caribbean, because what it does is to shorten the distance that ships have to travel from the Pacific into the Atlantic by providing the canal that allow them to shorten trade distance at thousands of miles.
Yes.
Thousands of kilometers, and therefore reducing the cost of goods coming from the Pacific, which is, by the way, where a lot of the supply chain begin, which is where a lot of goods are produced.
Yeah.
Right? In China, in Japan, in Vietnam, all over Asia. And so goods are cheaper and the world economy benefits from that. Jamaica benefits from that. And what Trump is the one that is making the proposal to create again additional trade friction by saying that he's going to capture, he was threatening to use military to capture the Panama Canal again. And because the person who control the ports at both ends of the canal was an Hong Kong-based country, Hong Kong-based investor, which is now Hong Kong is now under China. And because the British had it when that started, but as we know, the British handed back Hong Kong to China.
Yeah.
And so it again, because his fight is a political fight with China, and he's trying to punish China. He's now saying that one of the reasons taking back the canal is because the Panamanian allow the Chinese to control the ports, which is not true. These people are largely about economy, it's about business.
Yes.
Right? But you're correct in pointing out that it's yet another proposal that will undermine global trade and create problems for the world.
Sir Hilton, it was a pleasure.
But in the meantime, it's an asset to Jamaica. In the meantime, it's an asset to Jamaica that we need to take advantage of.
All right, Sir Hilton. Thanks very much for joining us this morning, and we'll be in touch with you.
All right.
Blessings, my brother.
Thank you to the listeners. Yeah.
That was opposition spokesman on trade and global logistics, understanding what is happening in the world and why Jamaica must take a look and understand world trade. We now open the phone lines. 804-7072. That's 876-804-7072. The government, the present GLP administration do not understand what is happening in the world. The shower going to wash your way because the government don't understand. Trump campaigned that he was going to put tariffs on. And for some reason, our government never spoke about it. Even when people ask them about it, they never answer. 10 hours in the debate and nothing about global trade. So, how are we going to fix the problems if we don't acknowledge that we are having problems? This is Portland Spice TV. Please remember to subscribe, share, and like up the channel. And if you want to contribute to Portland Spice TV, just check our profile, look in the description, and you see how you can contribute to Portland Spice TV to keep this channel on the air and keep us pounding away, giving the information that is necessary to the people and debunking the lies that they tell on a regular basis. 876-804-7072. That's the number to call. Yeah, man. Where is it? Hold on, the head boy. Head boy.
Morning, Sir Bell. How you do?
Me there, hungry.
Man,
I am hungry.
I tell you,
My breakfast
I
is
want to
ready.
tell you are.
But go ahead.
You are developing a university here on Saturday morning. I tell you, trust me.
Yes.
Yeah? Nobody does it like you do on a Saturday morning. It has become a staple. Well, it's been a staple for a long time, but it's become a staple in many persons. If they want to, for many persons, if they want to learn something,
Yes.
this is where they come on a Saturday morning. Yeah.
Thank you
And
very
I want
much.
to commend you. I want to commend you for what you're doing.
Thank you for
But
the compliment.
I want to join in echoing some of the sentiments made by opposition spokesperson on trade, industry and logistics. Yeah, because I cannot for the life of me understand how it is that the special economic zone, even the logistic hub idea, which was, and him rightfully pointed out, the reason why the JLP can't do nothing about it, and the one day with him Barlett in the Senate, who's now the Minister of Industry, and with some responsibility for logistics, cannot understand what needs to be done, is because they don't know what needs to be done. And instead of saying, let's go sit with my opposition counterpart and say, what was the vision you really had for this? Yeah, what you really wanted to see, envision. Because we're now in an era where we could have benefited even more because of this global trade dispute. Yeah? And I don't really think these guys understood what they did between 2012 and 2014 was they were busy tearing down the ideas being pushed forward by Minister Hilton at the time. Yeah? And we have gotten nowhere because they have spent most of their time opposing this thing. Let me use an example. Let's use Portland and Clarendon.
Yeah.
For example, in the eastern part of the country, you have what is called Kobe or Bowden Wharf.
Bowden is different from Kobe, you know.
Kobe, I know. That's why I'm referring to Kobe.
Yeah.
Do you know that Kobe is the deepest harbor in the entire Western Hemisphere?
That's what Sir Hilton told us a while ago.
Good.
So that can accommodate the largest ships in the world.
Yeah, let's go to Clarendon. Do you know that the runway at Vernon Field is still intact? That all it needs is just maybe some mine. A matter of fact, work started under Mike Henry when he was at the Ministry of Transport.
Yeah.
And then when they had put him for special responsibility for the Vernon Field Aerotropolis project, that they started removing all the pipelines running under the runway, because you can't have water running under the runway, because after a while it compromises the the structure.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Now, when you look at this, and I ask myself the question, we are struggling now in an era where, for example, a lot of persons who purchase things from Shein, from
Yeah.
Amazon, and from other some of these businesses will be paying an increase in their cost because of the tariffs that the US will put up on the things.
Oh yes.
What if we had done something similarly in Clarendon, for example, Southern Clarendon at the Vernon Field Aerotropolis, where it can take the largest cargoes in the world, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Mike Henry
We
has
would have-
always been talking about that.
Yes, and everybody, including Member Hilton, agreed. There was agreement on both sides of the house that we needed to do the Vernon Field Aerotrop. By the way, Vernon Field is not just an idea of Mike Henry, it was an idea of PJ Patterson. That is why when he developed the Longville Park housing scheme in Clarendon,
Yeah.
Longville Park was supposed to be a part of that Aerotropolis development where you give housing to workers that would be working in Vernon Field. Yeah?
Yeah.
So I don't think these guys understand really what this means.
And
Because
and
when
then,
you look at it,
then
we are
that would
moving
save a
so
lot
much
of
cargo.
country. That would save a lot of countries from this problem that America is about to cause on the world.
Exactly. So therefore, what would happen? Vernon Field would be a central processing hub
So that
for
could
all of the region.
so that could
Yeah?
take all the large cargo planes.
Let me give you. So I know a little bit of aviation, a little bit better. So when you're talking about, so you see the planes that, so what they do, they retire a lot of those passenger planes that can carry up to 400, 300, 400 passengers. They remove the seats and they
Yes.
convert them into just carriers for cargo.
Cargo.
The Airbuses, a lot of those Airbuses now are retired and they're waiting to be converted into cargo. By the way, Jamaica currently, before 2008, we were doing quite more on the cargo side. We have seen at Norman Manley where passenger levels have reduced. So what do we need to do? We sell Air Jamaica to the Trinidadians. Why can't we develop something called Jamaica Air Cargo? I'm not going to give out too much of my ideas because we have some things to do in
Yes.
that regard. Because cargo is the way. Cargo
and that's
is
fast.
the way.
That's fast to deliver, so you could get stuff from China to Jamaica in a day or 2 days.
Let me give one more. You know, there's a fresh flowers market in the United States.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The United States purchases close to around $1 billion worth of flowers from out of Latin America, El Salvador, Guatemala, and other places.
Yeah.
Right? We are closer to the United States and we are not even tapping into that fresh flowers market because we don't have the cargo distribution to do it. So I'm saying when we look at some of these things and what Member Hilton has just spoken about, we need to I think it is not just political will, I think it is also by design. Some people don't want to see Jamaicans into high-paying jobs. And by the way, cargo field pay good.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
The logistics field pay good because they have to keep up with international standards to attract the best. And look at it. We have the Maritime Institute right out at Palisados that is producing some of the best students in logistics. You know them going to have to go work in the United States. DHL, all of Amazon, all of these companies are recruiting them when them finish work.
Wow. Ed boy,
And
well,
we are, anyway, my brother,
we heard
this
from
is something when me tell you, I am even more passionate about this than the politics because I know the impact that it can have. I know the impact that it can have. Anyway, all the best, brother.
Respect, Ed boy. 804-7072. We're taking your calls. That's 876-804-7072. You can call us straight or you can call us on WhatsApp. We're taking your calls as we're discussing global logistics this morning. 10% tariff on Jamaican goods going into the United States, while our government is hell-bent on removing GCT from imported raw foods and vegetable. What the hell can go? So, no, we have to be serious as a people, you know, and start talking about growing the Jamaican economy. It is no longer about stabilizing the economy. The economy is not even stable. as they are trying to tell people that we have a stable economy that is in a recession, that is in stagnation. That can't be it. We have to do better than this, Jamaica. We have to get serious about where it is we want to go as a people, how we're going to create high-paying jobs for the people of Jamaica. So you hear this morning that one of the things that we have had on the table for a long time was global logistics, and Trump is now chewing the whole world into a tailspin. And this is also now showing that Jamaica must now play its part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. We're ready as a country, our people. Yes, sir. Morning.
Morning, Mr. Bill.
Wagwan.
Me did I listen to the program last night. You know, me not there in Miami area.
Yeah.
But I was listening from North Florida here to the Prime Minister's speech.
Yes.
Down there in Miramar, Florida. Now, from you have little knowledge, and a lot of people who, some people nowadays, them don't know what happened in the 1970s. But me born in the 50s. Me know before Jamaica get independence. See? Me no go come see no war in a Jamaica, boss.
Talk to me.
So when the Prime Minister go say, if we have a war, me I wonder what him talk about now.
When him say if you have a war, what?
No, him talk about with the election.
He spoke about that last night. I didn't hear that.
No, he was only mentioning in the 70s, Jamaica have. You listen to the speech, good?
Yeah, man. I listened to him last night, but I never hear nothing about no war.
Yeah, him mention we used
Hold
to
on
have.
for me. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Citizen Colin. How are you on this fine Saturday morning?
As me say, me not eat no breakfast for a morning. I just had a cup of tea and I'm going to ask for another one. Asking for another cup of tea, please.
Sacrifices, the sacrifices you make to educate us.
Yes.
We appreciate it. First of all, let me just say this. I would personally like to just big up Ed Boy and thank him. He's such a bag of information.
Yes, man. Full of info.
I have to just, put everything that I want to say, and I just want to show him and let him know that I appreciate his brain.
Mm-hmm.
The way his brain works and the way he shares the information. And, he has such wonderful ideas.
Yes.
He has wonderful ideas for the success of Jamaica and therefore for Jamaican people. And I want him to stay inspired.
Yes.
And I would also like him to consider getting sponsored, because this idea that he's talking about now is wonderful. Just get all of us Jamaicans in as I'm so older. He should start something. He has a brain. He's invested like you are in the betterment of Jamaica.
Definitely.
I want to encourage him to think about getting some sponsoring for all these ideas that he has. And one last thing, Colin.
Yeah.
I think that you guys could consider, this is just a thought, but I was so offended by the behavior. If that the PNP would consider just sending out a statement about this kind of behavior towards older people and being disrespectful.
I'm glad you bring up that.
So despicable. It is so despicable. It's so low.
And disrespectful.
How can we fall so far as a people?
Yeah.
That you are. This man, this is not the ordinary Jamaican speaking in a college. This is a news media.
Yes.
Where the man is speaking ill of older people. It is wrong and it must be stopped.
Yes.
And it must be, and the PNP must let it be clearly known that we do not want any sort of association with this kind of behavior. Again, it's called ageism when you speak down to older people because
Disrespect.
they can't do and move as they used to. And it needs Jamaican people need to say, no, stop, this is wrong.
All right, caller. Thank you.
All right, take care now and eat something soon.
Yeah, man, the food ready, it's just that I am on here now, so I'm not going to eat it now. All right.
All right, all right, all right.
Thank you very much. 804-7072. Did I lose the call I had before? Oh, my bad. My bad. Call me back, please. Call me back, please. Herbert. Yeah, man. Now, what the lady was talking about is this youth here when named George Davis. This youth here very rude and disrespectful. Very rude and disrespectful. Disrespecting KD Knight and chairman for life, Bobby Pickersgill. Now let me tell you something, because I don't know. Bobby Pickersgill come at every politics meeting. Now, for a man who supports the Labour Party, the GLP, to be disrespecting the elders, George Davis, your first need for tell Mike Henry to resign and leave the parliament immediately. Stop collecting his pay as a member of parliament. Now, this man is almost 90. Can't walk and he's still an MP. KD Knight has resigned. Bobby Pickersgill has resigned. The man, them just a support them party. They have no position in the party. They don't want any position in the party. They are just supporting the party, giving us the knowledge that they have going forward. A bad mind and a bad mind, PNP are grudge, no grudgery. But how the hell a young youth will claim saying grow up with his grandmother and disrespect old people, so? George Davis, you're desperate. You want a Senate seat. Oh, see it there? Got it. George Davis is looking at Senate seat. Anjo, your mother's still alive. Tell George Davis to respect the elders. Respect the elders, George. And until you do that, and Cliff Hughes, you need to take George Davis off of your radio. Because as a big man, Cliff Hughes, you're not a little boy. And you sit down and watch George Davis and disrespect the elders. Eh? How not do that? Disrespect the elders. In the GLP right now, you have a man called Carl Samuda who say I'm going to run back. You have a lady called Babsy Grange. They are elders. And then the PNP go out there and disrespect them. Me first, I come at you. Yes, we can call for them resignation, but we not disrespect them. Because the truth is, I would love to reach them age there, still being able to move around. But you know, somehow will never reach those age. I not disrespect the people them. 804-7072. You know, I have a voice note, but I'm scared to play a voice note like this. Oh, Mr. Bell, this is okay. So it's not for the year. So when we look in the parliament, somebody is saying Carl Samuda is 83 and Babsy is 79 and Mike Henry is 90. Is that true? Is that really? No. Let me put this on the screen. I'm going to see it. I don't know if this is true. Samuda 83, Babsy 79, Mike Henry 90, and all of these people are still in the parliament. All of these people are still getting paid as members of parliament. In fact, Babsy is the Minister of Gender Affairs, Entertainment and Sports and what else? Hey. No, sir. For those of you who are just joining us, welcome to Portland Spice TV. Please like up the video, share the video, and if you have not yet subscribed, support Dan Spice TV. Please subscribe to our channel. And if you want to contribute to the channel, look in the description. Bring up our profile.
Good afternoon.
You can't
Good
wait till
afternoon.
you can't wait till me tell you morning. I'm morning at Jamaica. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Tavares.
Mr. Who? My name is Colin Bell. SHACKA fame.
Oh, sorry.
Talk to me.
Yes. I read an article into a blog and see where Andrew Holness get £5 billion from England last year.
Get 5 billion, 5 million pound or billion?
5 billion pound.
Yeah.
From the king last year. So Jamaica people don't have a clue about that. I don't hear that. I just read it in the blog a while ago.
Well, some of the bloggers, them, hold on. Some bloggers talk some things sometimes with them not even know what them are talking. And that's why I tell people, I am not a blogger. I'm a broadcaster.
Yes, I know.
So me don't know about it. Me don't know about it. Maybe you can send it to me and me look on it and see if I something we know about.
Yes, I'm going to try and look it back again and to see. And another thing again, why Andrew Holness and Malawi Fort believe that they can do as they like with the Constitution and talking crap about not calling election. After the 15th of September, Malawi Fort and Andrew Holness cannot call no election, because
the parliament would have been dissolved. I hear you.
Yes.
Hold on for me. Hold on. 876-804-7072. Good morning.
Yes, man, Isabella.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
I want to say, pertaining to the elderly, them, when them not the mercy for.
But them are disrespect.
Disrespect, yeah. I hope my goal in me win, and go back to some pretty caring society.
Yes. A caring society looks after the most vulnerable. Your old people, your children. Yes.
Yeah, man. We need to go. We want a leader.
Talk to me, where you gone?
Yeah, I said we need a leader. We indulge in them aim is to bring back a caring society.
Definitely. And you hear Mark Wolin said that he's adding ethics to the 4E to make it 5E.
Yeah.
And he's going to bring back values and attitudes.
Yeah, man.
All
because
right.
I see them disgrace the elderly them.
Yeah, man. The boy out order, man.
I wonder if them don't have grandfathers and how old them father is, or them mother is, or them grandmother is.
Well, I hear him say him grandmother grew him, so I can't believe a man who him grandmother grew him at this the elders them way. Well, maybe him grandmother young too. Did young. Well, I don't know. Sad though. Very sad.
These kind of people who are talking, I bet to say, why, just imagine how them are going to treat them elder.
You understand?
How them are going to treat them elder, because they look like when them reach certain age, them are going to spark them.
You understand what I
like all bus.
But them better mind them not get park.
Yes, all bus are all chuck.
The things you do will live after you, brother.
Yeah.
So
tell me now. If them father and mother reach that age,
they might put them in a nursing home and left them.
And if their wish is to associate with them friend and then colleague, they might deny them the wish.
All right, it looks so.
They might deny them the wish.
Big question that country. Hold the line for me, country. Hold on. 804-7072. Morning.
Hello, good morning. Thank God.
Wagwan. Yeah, man, we're there.
I want to ask a question. Don't God deal with a family, like elder family or anything like that?
I don't know the guy.
Because Here what me I got to say, me personally, right?
Yeah.
It's a show me company now who you are. You say when you stick to the level there, you say me in partner, or whoever on him. How do they feel when him you want them to because of politics you can spew all kind of rhetoric?
The man look at Senate. The man look at Senate seat or a government work, man.
Regardless if you look at Senate seat. This is me as a person. It said me I talk to a young lady.
Yeah.
And she don't believe in a God. And she talk bad about my mother.
Yeah.
It's a certain pronouncement that they make. Me and I can't honor that, man. No matter what kind of thing they're going. There has to be a morality and a principle where you stand by. If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything.
Yes,
so when
sir.
you must spew this on a national radio, him feel like say he must do the GLP good and a nationwide good, people get turned off. And he said the longer them keep this election now, PMP will end up with 50 or 53 seats.
All right,
With
no
them kind of
boss.
concept they must spew. You hear me?
All right, sir. Loud and clear. Yeah, country, thanks for holding. Country.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, thanks for holding. No, I
Yeah,
like the
and
question
again-
where you ask if them, if their mother and them father grow whole and want to go associate with them friends, them or deny them that. Big question.
It seems so. It seems so.
Bobby Pickersgill country, every big political meeting, whether public meeting or NEC, Bobby Pickersgill is there. Because the man has retired. The man just a live him life now and him love him politics. Him love him PNP. So anyway, PNP call a meeting. Remember, if I go there and do see Bobby, I go and ask for him. Because Bobby wants to be there. You can't deny him that.
Yeah, but I said too, can't deny no. They don't want, they would support their daughter.
See the boy an idiot, man.
But yeah, tell me say they wouldn't support their daughter.
No, it don't look so.
Eh?
It don't look so.
But those two men in the parliament, but look on the iron, right? Those two men in the parliament, you know. And a man like Mike, anyway, we are 90-year-old, we are dropped down. We still left on the 300% raise list him.
Talk to
and
me.
I get paid.
Talk to me.
I get paid. And him a part of parliament and him not show up. So what kind of disgrace that? Eh? That is a disgrace, you know.
We're not going to do it then to do it. Here, sir.
The man is 90-year-old. He can't walk. Him a part of parliament. Him not sit parliament and he still get 200% rate.
Country, make we talk a little more. Bless up yourself, my brother.
All right, my boss.
Yeah, man.
Go to your room if you want to lie down.
Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. We are back with you, caller.
Yes. So,
yeah, man.
I just want to know why Andrew Wallace and Malawi Fort believe say Jamaica will out to them. I don't understand.
Something I go and do, but it's obvious that the labor rights are afraid. They don't want to call the election.
I know that's why they don't want to call it.
With that statement that Marlene Malawi Ford come make, it shows the entire Jamaica that they are worried, they are wondering, they are tinkering. Because what you say, hold on, what you say is a fact. The Constitution says it's 5 years from the first sitting of the Parliament. But for you to come out now and say that, what are you implying? And I want to say to Dean Jackson Miller, you might not see a motive, but we who are looking, we see a motive in that speech by Marlene Malawi Fort. Because if she just loved to explain the Constitution, why when they're doing the Portmore thing, she never come out and explain what the Constitution is about, Portmore becoming a parish, and that the opposition, or that the opposition should have relaxed because until you fix the boundaries, you can't do the parish. She never said a thing about that. Go ahead, Carla.
Yeah, she's a wagonist too, you know. I don't like her statement when she putting them out. I want Mark Golding to echo every little word in can echo to make Andrew Holness know say they stand firm enough.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Because I heard some little things where Mark Golding should have speak out against and I don't hear him.
Like what?
All these things. Mark Golding should have come out already and talk about it, you know.
Well,
and make Andrew Golding have to back down, you know.
No, man, Dayton Campbell put out a statement on it. Let me see if I can find it so I'll go and play it for you. Dayton Campbell put out a statement on it.
I see his statement.
You heard it?
Yes.
Okay. So it's not like we're sitting down and taking it lightly. Statements were put out.
We just don't want the people to make Andrew Holness feel like Jamaica will out to him. Because it's not.
All right, caller. Thank you very much.
All right, sir.
Thanks for your call. 876-804-7072. Like up the video, please. Share the channel. If you have not yet subscribed to Portland Spice TV, we're on our way to 4,000. Can we get 4,000 subscribers today? Can we get to 4,000 subscription today? Please, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And O'Neill, Azan, prison term loading. Who this name? Portland 60. Portland 60. Pick up your phone and call me. We hear the rubbish coming from you. I want to say morning to the people on TikTok. We're on TikTok live this morning at Colin SHACKA Fame Bell. Live on TikTok. We are live on YouTube, Portland Spice TV. And if you want to contribute to the channel, go to the description, click on the profile, go to the description, and you'll see how you can contribute to Portland Spice TV. Yeah, man, we are here every Saturday morning, 9 o'clock Jamaica time, until 11. That is 10 o'clock US. And we're going up till 12 in the US. But we are also on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. Tuesday evening and Wednesday evening, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Jamaica time, 5 to 7 drive time radio in the United States. We are on Portland Spice TV as well. Now, let me say this. That, you see that statement that Miss Malawu Fort make? Something that we have to look at seriously. Blessings, bro.
Morning, my general.
We're there upon it, brother. Do the work.
Great work. Yeah, I want to leave George Davis alone.
Oh, George?
Yeah, man, leave him alone, man. Yeah, man,
George must learn to respect the elder.
Listen, my man. George Davis, I wear pampas already, you know.
I never know that.
You understand? Yeah, man, all of them mansion party there where Cliff Hughes keep, man, I invite him, man. And they invite over the exotic anaconda there.
Take your time, take your time.
Yeah, man, George Davis, that pampas already.
Careful.
Yeah, man. So that's all I have to say. Don't leave George Davis.
All right, my brother.
Yeah, no sit on him face and squeeze up more than I chair there.
All right, so
yeah, man.
Big up yourself.
All right. Yeah, man.
876-804-7072. Good morning.
Yeah, morning, Mr. Bell. Respect.
Hold the line for me. Don't move, Amos. Hold on. All right, go ahead, caller.
Yes, Mr. Bell. Respect.
Yeah, man.
When me I call you about, you see?
Yes.
Me can't understand the Prime Minister and him followers them. How them think about Jamaican people. If we are a fool, or them use you as them use us as what do you call it now? Them use us and refuse us, right?
Talk to me.
What I am saying now, how them come up with this thing and about rent to own.
That's a PNP vision. That's not theirs.
That's it. Because when we want to understand, how them so copy.
Them don't understand it. Because there's also one more that we want to bring to the table, you know. We see a thing in England where if you're a government worker, you can buy a house with the government, you know. You buy half of the house and the government buy half, you know. And when you go down the road, if you want to buy out the government too, you can buy it out. All that we are bring to the table.
Yeah, me I tell you, Mr. Bell. You see, right now you have to be careful where you talk, you know. Because them man are just copycat. Them just do anything what them want to do. But one thing I want to tell Andrew and him colleague, him for respect what God do with Saul and put David in charge.
Talk to me.
Right? Because when God reject you, God reject him,
Yeah.
I want him to know that God reject him. Because when God reject you, nobody can put you nowhere. So him to be careful of where I deal with.
Yes.
I'm no care how far them go, then can't win. If them even put the election till next 20 years, then can't win. Right? Because God done reject him already, and me know that God reject him. So all we have to do is just sit down and wait, because time must come,
Time come.
Time come, time must come, more time must come.
Yeah,
so
man.
all we them a do, Mr. Bell, all we them a do, I suffer poor people, and then can't suffer with no more, because you must remember, God take we out of Egypt and carry cross
The Red Sea. Yes.
Right?
But did you hear the statement that the man made last night, the man who was the program? Listen this.
I got out of it, and I am slow, is that when you're at an inflection point, you must break out of your cocoon like a butterfly and free the people to live in a prosperous, transparent democracy. Thank you.
Was that man throwing shades at the Prime Minister last night? You must free the people and make them live in a fair and transparent society. You think that man was throwing shades at the Prime Minister?
I can tell you what. He might get beaten right, left, and center,
Right in front of your face.
I don't care what them do, Then can't escape it, But when me say, Mr. Bell,
yeah,
I hear some analysts say a 41 seat PNP I go get. But me say the whole of them are going to wipe out completely. Completely. None of them now go left. Up to him seat I go wash it,
Well, the man down there strongly believe him can beat him, so be careful.
Yes, I'll fit him seat I go watch it, because it's God on time.
All right,
it's
sir.
God on time.
God
and
on
then can't stop the wind from blow. For the wind done a blowing already, it a blowing a Mark Gold in favor. Because no care. You see what they do with Mark Golden from the beginning? Them start to ridicule him. Him on a Jamaican.
Yes.
He can rule Jamaican. And the next little one where they call Fandong in a whole harbor there. I never want to call him name because I don't want to give no relevance.
May I go run left you a little more?
Bless up yourself, sir. Respect.
Man. 804-7072. Hold the line for me. Sexy Gaza on TikTok. If you want to participate, call me on 876-804-7072. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, my boss, Rabel.
Yeah, man.
I look out, labor right, man, I ain't just done top.
No, man. No.
If I give back that little labor right, man, a chance, Make him apologize first and give back a chance, Think you like your program,
All right, sir. Cool.
Just tell him time to apologize if you want to talk to you again.
All right, no problem.
All right, brother.
Yeah, man. 876-804-7072. We're taking your calls live on Portland Spice TV. Wherever you are around the world, we're taking your calls. Yeah, man. And we no matter which party you support, we talk to anybody. We have a call on the line? Hello? Do we have a call on the line? Hello, good morning. Mystically. Mystical.
Bill, what brother? How you do?
My day I deal with the case.
Respect, man. I want to salute the program this morning, from the first outing, man.
Yes, man. Bless you.
Yeah, Hilton. Great presentation. Very educative presentation.
Informative.
with the capacity and the ability and man endowed with the knowledge pertinent to the portfolio that he occupies, yeah?
Yeah.
A spokesperson. Because I don't think there's another person in Jamaica that is so knowledgeable
about
that
logistics.
sphere.
Mr. Logistics.
Like Tony Hilton. Yeah, you know what I'm saying to you? Yeah.
Hold on, the Mystical.
Mystical,
don't move. Hold on, the Mystical. Don't move. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I am fine.
Talk to me.
And you?
I'm good.
You know, I just want to say, I want to tell the listeners and who are calling on Mark Golding, I realize that Mark Golding have a very active team. And Mr. Golding is a gentle giant.
Yes.
You see, whenever time he speaks and he takes action,
yes,
it works. So he has a very good team behind him. So people should just allow him to do what he does best. He's a lawyer. He's a financier. He's a planner.
Yes.
So he has other people behind him to do the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And he's doing a wonderful job. Secondly, I would like you to explain to the listener what reciprocal trade is, because as a country girl, my parents used to do that. We used to barter.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of people do not understand what reciprocal trade is.
You do it
so
to me, I do it to you.
Yes, you'll be expounding it. So that is what Mr. Hilton was talking about this morning.
Right.
And we would be a better nation if we had followed Mr. Michael Madley.
Oh Lord, where would we be today?
We would be way ahead. I am in the era. I used Mr. Bell. I used to get bonga. I'm 73 years old.
Milk powder.
Right?
Get your car key or your uniform cloth. All of that when you go to school.
You understand? And we used to do our garden, our school garden, and it would feed the canteen. And I mean, these are the things that we need to bring back, right? And the only person can spearhead these is Mr. Mark Jefferson Golding. So I would like people to leave him alone.
All right.
I listened to the Prime Minister that is there now last night for the whole presentation, and he was actually begging. He conceded to all of the things that is going wrong in the country. Like he's asking you, listen, work with me, begging you to work with me. That's what he was in the diaspora doing last night.
I heard him.
You know, you heard him.
All
okay,
right.
Sir.
Blessings.
Have a good day. Wonderful program.
Thanks
very
for your call.
Educational.
All right.
Thank you very much for the program.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah, man. Mystical. Thanks for holding. Mystical, we're back with you. Mystical, mute me. Unmute me, Mystical. Unmute me, the Mystical. I am back with you. Mystical is speaking, one of our main contributors to this program. After 9 years, we heard Andrew begging last night for true. I beg the people in the diaspora, call the people in Jamaica.
Yeah, man.
Yes, man. Welcome back.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so, we salute the distinction of the platform. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, and the quality, the scholarship, the experience, that is brought to bear on this expose, man?
Yes.
Is really embracive of what is necessary to educate your people. And so, big up yourself, brother. Yeah?
Yes, man. Thank you.
Colin.
Yeah.
I see a lot of oxygen is being wasted on these waste. Yeah. So when you people identify, some little talking points that really I'm nasty up this program if I should use a very frank, open.
Understand.
Yeah, really toxify the place, man. I am disgusted when I hear some information some garbage being spewed, referencing people who, have reference honorable people and the elderly and so on,
Yeah.
in a derogative way. Let us not give it any sway around here, man, because, truth be told, I can't associate them with the politics, so to speak. All right, so you can attach them to a political party, but fear to the party. I mean, not hear nobody from the party really conduct themselves. Now, I know them conduct themselves in ways that are just distasteful. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have not really heard them.
Yeah. But they have not come out and debunk what he's saying either.
I don't think that. Yeah, they have not really, and so
let me tell you my take. Let me tell you my take on it, though, Mystical. I see the youth as a young man, and I think I have a responsibility to warn him. Be careful how you disrespect the elders, because sometimes some of these young people don't understand that is what come out of your mouth, defile you, So I just want to warn him and tell him to be careful how you talk about the elders. That's all I want to say to him.
Yeah, make them go and defile themselves, man. Me not listen to defilement. Me kind of put up firewall against certain things. I want to put up some firewall because education is necessary, quality education, and people are hungry for it. So more we keep them out of the fray, I mean, it is better, quite acceptable. You know what I mean? No,
keep the place sterile.
Watch this. You see, man, keep it that way then. Colin, a criminal organization or a criminal enterprise, constitutes criminals, criminal intent, criminal practice, criminal outcome, criminal conviction, criminal philosophy. So I don't know why we waste time even contemplating, people's intent. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Why do we spend time contemplating? There's no contemplation about, because what you are, you are.
Yes.
Yeah. And what you are, is what will be. Yeah. What will ever be. Yeah. So the outcome, it goes without saying. So these utterances, these utterances from the mouths of politicians occupying certain seat of power. It goes without saying. It tells their intention, and it is expected that will be, their intention. So we have to know, just know what it is, to not only cauterize, but to ensure that these intent are not materialized.
Yeah.
How we are going to do that?
Yes.
The brother that spoke before, the elder that spoke before, them say, man, all right, extend it to any amount of time you want to extend it. Yeah, extend it to any, because I want to support that thought.
Yeah.
Go on, hold it for as long as you want to hold it, because the judgment will come,
and you will never see it again.
The day of reckoning will come, man.
Yeah, man.
You can't hold it so long till it gets so hot that you can't hold it anymore. You get what I'm saying?
Burn you.
So when it start burn, you have to let it go. Yeah. So hold on. And we know why they are holding. You see, they can't afford to allow judgment to take place because they have so much to lose.
But judgment have to come in.
What a day, brother.
Judgment
what a day.
Have
what
to
a
come.
Day when they will have to face up to their deeds. Yeah. Because them scroll tall,
Yes.
The corruption scroll is very, very extensive,
Yes. You saw
Listen to me, man.
You saw the piece from the Integrity Commission requesting some information from all government agencies,
definitely.
from
Listen
the
to me, man.
UDC,
And
from all of them agencies there.
Brother, I have heard it. Yeah.
Yes.
But we always are saying, Colin, unless the stone is rolled away, there can't be no resurrection, brother.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
What it's gonna be? It's gonna be decay.
Definitely.
Yeah. And the rat that Jamaica is in right now, it can, corruption can't inherit in corruption, you know.
No.
You get what I'm saying?
No.
Corruption can inherit in corruption, bro. And I've been listening over the past couple of days, or the last 2 days, of the utterances in Miami by the chief minister, yeah? And listen to me, man. The man is out of his depth. The man is out of his senses. The man is out of everything, yeah? That is honest and credible and truthful, yeah? The man don't even know what he's saying. You don't realize that?
I listened to him last night and I played earlier
There's
this
no
morning.
sense
I played earlier this morning
in the Prime Minister's utterance. No sense.
You heard the flip
and
flop.
Somebody has to pull him aside, you know.
He made a major flip flop last night, you know. Him say,
listen to me, man.
Him say, why you think most of you are here? It's about 1 million Jamaicans are here. Or maybe more. And somebody said something and him say, maybe less, much less.
Listen to me, man. The man is making a fool of himself, going all over the place. At the JMA Expo, but the man has made a fool of himself.
But at the JMA,
Every
hold on,
utterance, anybody with a sense.
Mystical. At the JMA Expo, I heard him said Jamaica ceased to be a democracy and is now a bureaucracy. You heard that?
No, I never. Okay.
Yeah, man. The man
not
said
heard
Jamaica
the entirety.
ceased to be a democracy and now become a bureaucracy.
I said somebody have to pull that man aside. You know? Somebody has to pull him aside because he's beside himself. He's beside reason. Yeah?
Last night.
I can't question his qualification.
Hear this. Last night, right? You remember in the budget presentation when he was talking about the DNA test is in and PNP,
yes,
you are
man,
not the father and you're a worthless daddy?
And you have rehearsed an essential point in his presentation.
But last night him said the GLP
couldn't square.
Him said the GLP started to engage the IMF, but they didn't complete the engagement. That sound like the worthless daddy to me.
But even the sentence don't make much sense, you know, because he was trying to make sense, and at the same time, you know, he was apprehended in his cognitive expression, yeah. So that it sounds like it makes sense, but when you analyze it, you realize it don't make much sense. You understand? No, yeah, might not make no sense. You see, and fear to speak. The capacity is not there. Yeah. The capacity is not there. Yeah. The scholarship is not there. The kind of scholarship, yeah, that drives a government. Yeah.
Yeah.
And drives the economics of government is not there. Yeah. There's a lack of understanding. There's a lack of a worldview. Yeah.
What? Mystical.
Yeah.
Mystical.
Yeah.
Wait a second. There's a lack of a what?
Worldview, man. That's no connectivity with the world in which
a major shortcoming of this government.
Yeah,
a lack of worldview.
Yeah. And you might have heard too at the JMA Expo that the same observation, like a Hardly Shaw observation, that there's an opportunity.
Coming.
You heard
out
that?
of all the problems
that
the world is going to
in
face.
all that we are having now.
I hear
man.
it.
There's an opportunity. But ask, what is the opportunity? Tell me about the opportunity.
Yeah.
Tell me about the opportunity. Yeah. Because they have no understanding of what it takes to navigate, even in placid period, worse in boisterous period. Yeah. They have not what it takes. Because if they had what it takes, going 10 years now, we would have seen it. It would be manifest that, yes, indeed,
when I listen
the
to
results would be overwhelming. Yeah?
When I listened to the man last night, I realized that this man is really just a talker.
Yeah, man, just talk. Everybody is just talking. Ill is just talking. Homeless is just talking. Everybody, and everybody thinks that they are just speaking, and they speak well
Them
because
hear
they
themselves.
believe the place is so densified that whatever they say, it will have resonance. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
No, they have
Yes.
that conviction, you know.
Yes,
Yeah, that all of us out here are dumb. So when they speak, they're able to move us. Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it's not swaying around here.
Not
because
at all.
what we are seeing, yeah. Mm.
And the people
You can get such a elaborate opportunity, yeah, since 2016. The best opportunity, the best period, yeah,
the best
in our
foundation.
economic life, the best foundation. And after 9 years, going 10 years, you have nothing to show.
In fact,
and at the last minute of your contract, you want the contract to be renewed when you have nothing to show.
Mystical.
But I want the period to extend a little because I want those people, those money people, to feel it out. Because right now, you know that export is wiped out.
You don't know what got him.
It's wiped out,
and that's why I brought on Sir Hilton this morning to basically give us some insight on what is going to happen. Problems.
Yeah, man.
Big up yourself, my brother.
I want them feel what we feel because, we can't feel no more. So make them feel some of what we feel.
All right, party. Them I feel it worse than we.
Cool.
I can tell you that.
Well, make them go and feel it, man. Then come down to the ground. Them too high. Them come down. Because we did a long time. All right. Bless you.
Sam, morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bell.
Talk to me.
How are you, Mr. Bell? I hear the Prime Minister say Jamaica health system is the best in 20 years. And the people them in the place are jump up and down and make nice. Why?
Hold on. Those people was in Florida, right?
You're right.
Yeah, man. So them now. But hold on. You heard the first question last night?
No.
You never hear the lady who asked the first question.
I was so upset.
The lady said, hold on. The lady said she came to Jamaica with her mother and she had to go back to the America without her mother. Her mother died. And the lady was blaming the health sector for the death of her mother. No, I'm not going to say she right or she wrong. But the first question last night was about our health sector and the fact that it's not working the way it ought to work. How can the health sector be the best when the largest hospital on the island, the operating theaters are down? You can't do.
Why you must say that now? Right? There's a release from Southern Health Association that the 4 main theater or KPS will be working in the next few weeks.
Yeah, they are down. They are closed because of lack of maintenance, mold in the place.
Yeah. So I'm saying, what if you know that was taking place in the media? That's the headline in the media. Eh? The man lie.
No, but if you watch his posture though, when he was answering the health sector, the health question, he said that he wasn't comfortable. Wasn't comfortable at all.
He make a ass himself. Right? He made the ass on the people them. I can't believe them people there ever come to Jamaica yet. I read the paper. I listen to the talk show them.
I want to hold on. Clap. As we talk about last night's event, I want to say good morning to my friend Jeffrey Tavares. And let me tell you, Jeffrey, I am disappointed in the question you asked last night. It might be a relevant question, but as somebody who is in the space broadcasting and vlogging or on social media, the question about pension, as I said, it might be relevant. But there were so many questions.
Bigger issue.
Because when I heard Jeffrey introduce himself last night, I said, yes, ask him something. Yeah. When I heard the question, we go back go lay down. We go back go lay down. We go back go lay down. We go back go lay down, brother. Serious, Jeffrey.
When my friend tell me, say, why Jeffrey get cold feet. Them say why?
But
because in Jeffrey has every day, the Prime Minister must step down. Right, call him 28 account when can get called for.
But I tell you something. I am wondering if they vet the questions before. I am wondering that.
But even vet the question, even vet it.
When you get the mic, you can say what you want to say. Can you get the mic?
Yeah.
You get the mic.
Yeah.
You get the mic. It wasn't a question you write and send up. You got the mic to speak. You should have spoken.
Yeah. Yeah, so I never know why my friend said to me.
Yeah, man.
No, you enlighten me.
I was disappointed with the question that Jeffrey asked. Really disappointed.
Can you hear what I know? If anyone want to talk about the hospital, not good help and feel them a chair. Me just turn out, me just switch.
No, sir. Me have to listen to everything, you know. Because
me just switch, cause
in this politics, me have to hear what them must say.
Yeah. There's nothing man can tell me for me to listen to them when you say that. There's nothing.
Let me tell you this. When the Prime Minister talk, me no miss it. You see him like how when Mark Bolin talk, me left where me I do and go listen. When the Prime Minister talk, me left where me I do and go listen to him.
Yeah, but what bother me now is the people them a cheer for the lies.
Hold on there, Sam. Hold on there. Turn off the thing in the background, man. Every time you call, you have something playing in the background. Talk to me.
Jeffrey, Colin.
Turn off the instrument in the background, brother. You have to turn off the instrument in the background because that is coming right back at us in the studio. There's a massive delay. So when you call, you have to turn off where you listen upon or mute it. Go ahead now.
So, Colin,
yes.
The boss said something good last night.
Last night?
Yeah.
Listen this.
So it is in puzzle as to why governments have gotten into debt. But in the 2010, we engaged with the IMF.
You hear that?
Now, the government of which I am a part started the engagement with the IMF. We did not complete the engagement with the IMF.
Is that true?
Yeah, man.
Is that true?
True.
That is not true. You not even know where you listen to.
Jeffrey, everything we do wrong for you, Jeffrey.
Me no name Jeffrey. Call Jeffrey later. Jeffrey have a program later. If I did me get a chance to ask the Prime Minister a question, I'll know. He would have stand up on the stage, he would have move it, he would have still try answer.
Well, everything in do wrong for you, Colin. But look, you know, a prosperity time now, Colin.
You what you do?
Yeah.
Send a $5,000 credit on the phone here for me.
That number, yeah?
Yeah, man. Send $5,000 credit to that number. It's a flow number, yeah?
All right.
Prosperity time.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah,
if you're not send it means you're not prosper, you know. If you're not send it means the prosperity not there, yo. We lost some. Yes. I want to play this again, make you listen to it. This was the Prime Minister speaking last night. Hold on, bring it from the top.
You know, it is in puzzle as to why governments have gotten into debt. But in the 2010s, we engaged with the IMF. Now, the government of which I am a part started the engagement with the IMF. We did not complete the engagement with the IMF. The previous government, the government of the PNP, re-engaged with the IMF with a new program. And that program, along with the foundations laid in 2010 with the fiscal responsibility framework, institutionalized strong management of our economic affairs.
Now, you remember the Prime Minister in the budget debate tried to claim the whole fiscal discipline. You hear him just say a while ago? It was institutionalized under the PNP. There was no fiscal discipline plan set out under the GLP administration. Yeah? As he rightfully said, they engaged the IMF and they signed an agreement. They couldn't pass no tests. And the IMF suspended the agreement. It's not that they didn't finish the engagement. The IMF left them. Left Jamaica in the cold because the GLP administration of Bruce Golding, Audley Shaw, Andrew Holness could not cross it. Stop telling the people lies. JDX was a part of start to hold on upon the debt. That had nothing to do with fiscal discipline. It was a lack of fiscal discipline why the IMF suspended the deal. So how could you claim fiscal discipline when it was for that reason and that reason alone why the IMF suspended the deal in 2011? Stop telling lies. Before we go, I want to play this where the man threw shades at the Prime Minister last night.
Thank you.
The man threw shades.
What I got out of it, and I am slow, is that when you're at an inflection point, you must break out of your cocoon like a butterfly and free the people to live in a prosperous, transparent democracy. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. Thank you.
The word transparency there is not bigging up the Prime Minister, because right now there's a lack of transparency in Jamaica. I want to thank Comrade Anthony Hilton for coming on this morning and explaining global trade and logistics the way he did. I want to thank all the callers who called in this morning. Thanks to the people on TikTok for joining and staying with us. Thanks for the likes. So we've got 13,000 likes on TikTok. And the people on YouTube, like up the video. If you have not subscribed to Portland Spice TV yet, we're asking you to subscribe. We're close to 4,000 subscribers. So we're begging you for this weekend, let's get to 4,000 subscribers and start the road to 5,000. Respect to all the people in the chat room. Don't beat the labor rights them so bad, then come to learn. They have been brainwashed. They have been brainwashed. And because of party colors and blind partyism, them not understand. So beat them, but not beat them too hard while we teach them what is happening. Jamaica first, Portland next, then politics after. This has been Talk to Me on Portland Spice TV. Bless upon yourself. Join me Tuesday evening right here for another riveting current event program on Portland Spice TV. One love, my people. Bless up.